Hello everyone, I'm Cloud and welcome to Ninja no Mi. Today, continuing with Boruto's videos, we will talk about an amazing jutsu. Himawari is a very skilled young girl, being able to use advanced techniques that not even ninjas could learn easily. Through her ability to learn jutsus quickly, this makes her an incredibly skilled person. But not knowing which style she will choose, and not even if she wants to be a ninja, she prefers to spend time with her mother Hinata, helping her mother and having fun with her. However, in the future she may want to learn more about jutsu, finally choosing to become a ninja like all of her family. An incredible choice, because she could become one of the most powerful ninjas. Being Naruto's daughter, she may have inherited his wind element as well as her brother Boruto, which would allow her to use jutsus like her father. However, there is a jutsu in which Naruto managed to use it and improve over time, the Rasengan. This jutsu in which it was originally from Minato Namake's. So what would happen if Himawari also learned to use the Rasengan like his father Naruto? In today's video we are going to talk about the possibility of Himawari learning to use the Rasengan and also receiving the rest of Kurama's remaining power, not only him but also other techniques derived from the Rasengan, and how Himawari could make her father's technique even stronger. And I already count on your help to leave your like in the video to support the channel. I also hope you subscribe if you're still new here, and leave your comments saying your opinions and what the next videos you want to see here on the channel. Now let's go to the video. Guys, the Rasengan is a technique created by Minato Namake's the 4th Hokage. Through the wind element he managed to create a sphere in which he used the Bijudama as a reference to create this jutsu. Minato spent 3 years improving the Rasengan so that it became a very powerful jutsu, but Minato was not able to complete this jutsu as he lost his life before even realizing his dream. However, this jutsu was passed on. Jiraiya was able to learn how to use the jutsu that his former student created. Through his Sannin mode, Jiraiya was able to use this power as well as Minato. With nature's chakra along with his own, Jiraiya was able to learn to create a giant sphere, naming it the Giant Rasengan, a jutsu that would be far more powerful than an ordinary Rasengan. Through this knowledge, Jiraiya trained Naruto to learn the jutsu created by the boy's father. Naruto spent days and days training to gain control over this jutsu, but he was not able to create the Rasengan with just one hand. With the help of a shadow clone, Naruto was able to use the Rasengan. His clone would concentrate his wind element in Naruto's hand while Naruto would keep that amount of chakra contained in his hand, then allowing his clone to create the Rasengan. Meanwhile Naruto, he only used it to attack his enemies. However, because of this disadvantage, Naruto was able to create even more jutsus in which he molded the Rasengan to whatever he wanted, so that he could get several ways to use this jutsu. In Boruto's manga we can see that Boruto knows how to use the Rasengan just like his father, but his first Rasengan worked in a different way. He manages to throw his Rasengan. During the course he disappears, totally hiding his existence. But a few seconds after the disappearance of the jutsu, the target at which Boruto aimed feels the impact of this blow, as if it were an invisible jutsu, in which it has a great ability to inflict damage on its opponent's body. Just like Minato, Naruto and Boruto have the wind element that there is a great possibility that Himawari also has, as practically everyone in their lineage inherited the ability to use this element. Through Naruto's teachings, Himawari would be able to learn to use the Rasengan much faster. After all, he is the most experienced user in this jutsu as he created a way to use it more easily. In addition, over time he managed to improve it even more, becoming one of the most powerful jutsus in the ninja world, but only few people have the ability to master it, as the most basic Rasengan is level A, and the ones that Naruto uses probably is S level or higher. Therefore, Naruto would be the best teacher to teach his daughter how to use it. Naruto could teach Himawari first the concept of a shadow clone, because through him Himawari would be able to learn this jutsu faster. During Naruto Shippuden, Kakashi and Yamato showed us that the shadow clones also had a very interesting functioning. After the clone disappears, the knowledge acquired by it goes back to its user. So the clones could be used so that Himawari could learn the Rasengan even more easily, as its learning would take days of arduous training. That's how we followed a good part of Naruto's training to be able to correctly control his chakra flow to be able to use the Rasengan. Being an Uzumaki and a Hyuga, her chakra amounts are very high, allowing her to be able to create many shadow clones to learn how to use the Rasengan much faster. In addition, we know that there is a possibility of Kurama's chakra living inside her. After all, even though Kurama no longer exists, only Naruto lost the power of the tailed beast. After all, as we saw in the Naruto anime, there were characters with Kurama's chakra without being Jinchuriki. Until now, there were only a few ninjas who were able to use the Rasengan, being Minato, Jiraiya, Naruto, Kakashi, Sasuke, Konohamaru, and Boruto. Some of them were able to perfect Minato's jutsu, making him even more powerful. Starting with Jiraiya, who was able to create the giant Rasengan through his Sage mode. This jutsu was later used several times by Naruto, who managed to make it even more powerful. Jiraiya was also able to perfect the Rasengan by creating another power, but it was only shown in games in the series, series, but it is worth remembering that even if it is shown in games only, it is a power approved by the author of the manga. Naruto was the one who most presented different styles of Rasengans, having a large amount of Rasengans in his jutsus, starting with one of the jutsus that Naruto uses most often, the giant Rasengan. He was able to learn this jutsu from Jiraiya, which allowed him to also use a much more powerful jutsu than his conventional Rasengan, which allowed him to defeat many powerful enemies such as Kurama and even Pain. Through his training on Mount Mayaboku, Naruto was able to learn new Rasengans, such as a jutsu in which he makes two Rasengan spheres in his two hands and then immediately unleashes these two attacks on his opponents. This causes the damage they take to be very high. Naruto used this jutsu a few times, such as in the fight against Pain or during the fourth great ninja battle where he used it against the disguised Zetsus, but we can be sure that it is a very strong power. Naruto was also able to use a jutsu in which Naruto enters his Sage mode and then creates several shadow clones, and each of them has a giant Rasengan in his hand. So together they formed a barrier capable of hitting anything that was in front of them. This jutsu was used twice in the manga. First it was against Kurama during Naruto's training with Killer Bee to master the power of the tailed beast. In one of these trainings he would have to face the tailed beast and be able to defeat it. During this confrontation Naruto uses this jutsu that makes even Kurama afraid of its power. Another moment used was during the confrontation against Madara. Madara uses his wood style to create a large wave of trees in the direction of the Ninja Alliance. To prevent this jutsu from taking people's lives, Naruto uses this power to create a barrier of great Rasengan. Naruto was also able to use the Rasengan in the shuriken format, where he created a large shuriken-shaped Rasengan in which he can throw a considerable distance. The projectile was not that fast, but it was practically impossible to escape from the second part of this jutsu. After Naruto threw the Rasengan and it collided with something solid, it exploded, forming a large sphere around the place where it landed, causing everything within the power's range to disintegrate. I will not quote all the Rasengans that Naruto has, as there is a variety in which he used during the manga, but those mentioned above were the ones that most presented an interesting highlight in the story. And finally we have Boruto, who learned to use a different way of his Rasengan without even having intention. With the help of Konohamaru and Sasuke, Boruto learns to use the Rasengan, but it works very differently than thought. Not being a normal Rasengan, he thought the power had failed, but this new style of Rasengan proved its worth against Momoshiki Otsutsuki. When the Otsutsuki was about to take the lives of Boruto's father and the Kage as well, Boruto uses his Rasengan. During the anime we see that Boruto also learns to use the Rasengan in other styles, but his jutsu is unique because instead of taking on a blue color like common Rasengans, his takes on a green color, representing that this jutsu is unprecedented. It is unknown how far Boruto will be able to evolve this jutsu, but it may be that he surpasses his father's jutsus, something that Himawari will be able to do in the future too, because as Himawari said, she doesn't know what she intends to do in the future, so there is still the possibility that she will become a ninja, but not a simple ninja, but one in which everyone will remember her accomplishments, as she belongs to two very powerful clans. Through Naruto's teachings, Himawari could learn the basic concept of a Rasengan, so over time she could be able to develop it in ways that suit her fighting style, creating various Rasengan-derived jutsus just like his father did. Himawari would be able to create unique Rasengans, being able to create a variety of jutsus, as through the Hyuga's fighting style she could create techniques in which she would use the concept of the Rasengan to make her fighting style even more powerful. But what do you think about it? Do you think Himawari might be able to learn the Rasengan? What jutsus derived from the Rasengan could she create to use during combat? Leave your opinion in the comments. Thanks to all of you for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed the content and information in today's video. We hope that we will always continue together talking about the news of the anime and the manga, so comment your doubts, news, or what you think will happen in the anime in the future. Also comment on the new videos you want to see here on the channel. We'll see you again in the next video. I'll wait for you here. Bye.